Lucky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Made it.
Weekend.
The freaking weekend.
With another win in our pocket.
Yes. It was a good win, but it was a scary win the first half. It was awful the first half.
And can I say too, besides the game, it sounds like a lot of people, it was also awful just finding the game.
Oh, yeah. And the experience on Peacock was rough.
That's like what I heard.
You couldn't hear the commentators because they must have had a microphone somewhere, and it was like pulled up, like the volume was up on it, because every time the band would play, it's like they were in the backyard, like they were right there. And you couldn't hear the commentators.
There's no reason for that, because I'm trying to think now if they. So it was like whose people were doing the game. I mean, it wasn't.
It was Big Ten. It was BTN. It said BTN on it. Yeah, but it was on Peacock.
So it should have been the same broadcast, just carried by a different distributor. Essentially, because I doubt very much that they had people on the ground who were setting up for BTN.
I would think the commentators were good when you can hear them. I mean, the crew was good, but I don't know if it was like a local production team that did it. I don't know, but it was not good.
Because Peacock is that's just the carrier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sent their interns.
Yeah, they had nothing to do with the production side of it. They were just
I don't know,
distributing what they got. But it did suck too, because if you had, once again, I go back to my rant and let me get on my little soapbox. If you don't have the right provider, right? So then you have to buy the right package, and then you have to get the right add-ons. Yep. So if you already had, in my instance, if you have your Roku and you decide you're going to use Sling, and so you get the blue and the orange, and then you buy that sports add-on, I still couldn't have it. I probably.
Right.
You still have to buy the $7 a month for Peacock for one game. Maybe not. I don't know, but I understand people's frustrations. Because too, a lot of them, when you look down the list of games that are coming up, most of them don't list who's carrying them. Like there's one or two that have FS1 or something like that. Otherwise, you don't know what it is. So preparing for it, it's like, can we just pick somebody for this year? Yeah.
It's like, because if Nebraska's 0-5, but yet we are scheduled to be on NBC primetime in October, they'd be like, well, we don't want an 0-5 team, so let's pivot them to Tubi or to Freebie.
It's because they don't take care of their audience. They don't respect their audience. It all comes down to it's like, okay, so the Husker Network doesn't say, well, they're 0-5, screw them, I don't want to cover them anymore. They're with them. It's like, you're in bed with them. That's it. You're done. We're doing the season with them. We're going to keep them on. How many freaking channels of BTN are there, for God's sake?
Yeah.
Why can't BTN have? There's like 10.
Well, and now we have two more teams, so it's going to be even harder. So they need to start a BTN, BTN.
They need to have enough so they can carry all their teams. Big Ten networks, not the Big Ten. It's the Big Ten we want to carry network.
So here, okay. This is maybe dumb, but the BTN app, why can't they just all be on the app and we could just cast it to our TV or have it on our TV?
You could. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, that's like, you should be able to get all the teams all the time. I can get high school games easier than I can get the Huskers.
Mm-hmm.
the fuck? What
Yeah.
is going on? I mean, come on. You know,
Yeah, I know.
I can find an Ashland game pretty easy. By the way, they're really good this year. But I mean, that shouldn't be in this day and age. This is stupid.
Well, and I think just a production note, they need to have the person holding that big telescope thingy to get sound on the field move away from the band. That's all.
That should just be common sense, but
Yeah.
I guess you need to write that down.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Incredible. Incredible. Real quick little note, since I happen to mention Ashland football. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There was Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I did not know that both Levante David and Ben Stilley play on that team, but they literally had, and I had reposted it. I think Levante David forced a fumble, the quarterback, and the recovery was Stilley.
Yep. That's pretty awesome.
Huskers and one from Ashland. Thank you very much. That was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So now I guess I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Of course. You already have a hat.
Why not?
Yep.
Might as well. I don't have a team right now, so I might as well. Anyway, let's see here. What else is going on? Oh, and then also watching the stuff on the flooding. Just crazy.
Yeah,
Just crazy.
Terrible.
So just a little, I guess really fortunate to see some of the other information that's coming out from some of the weather people. A lot of people are just like, how is it possible that these people got taken out by a hurricane when they're in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, right? This isn't the first time it's happened to that area. Apparently it happened in the early 1900s too. They had a hurricane, and I can't remember the name of it, that struck in Florida. And it was remnants of it that caused a huge flood that took out a lot of the same towns. And they rebuilt. That wasn't as bad as this one. This was devastating, no doubt.
Yeah. This was
It
awful.
had a ton of rain the week before, so their saturation level was beyond. But it has happened actually a couple of times. It was in the 1800s also. It had happened before. So it just blows my mind because I know nobody there has hurricane insurance.
Right. No, and of course that will be the loophole where these people won't get paid out for insurance. 'Cause it's a
Right?
hurricane. Yes.
Oh, it's a hurricane. That's not flooding. That's a hurricane. We don't probably can't even buy it. You probably can't even buy hurricane insurance.
They think you'd be stupid. Like, why would you buy
or North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's devastating. Just crazy. And somebody did make a post. I was glad to see it because everything's been so focused on that one area of Asheville, North Carolina, which by the way is not too far away from Nashville, Pigeon Forge. You have all these little towns. Gatlinburg is down the road. All these little towns that you recognize. But anyway, I had posted, it's not just one town and one county, and it's like 5 states and how many million people and how many counties and how many cities, and just made this long list because they're not getting covered in the same way. But to be fair, I don't think any of it's getting the coverage it should have. I don't think any of it is. I don't think you're seeing it the way you should. I don't think there's.
No, you're right. And I just thought maybe I wasn't watching the right channels, or I wasn't spending enough time not watching sports. So that it's good to know that I'm.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking this week. I'm like, they're not talking about this. I didn't realize it was as bad as it is until maybe yesterday morning, just because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen anybody talking about it.
Yep. I don't think it's getting near the attention that it should. And you still got people that are trapped, that have no way to get a signal out. Like I think in one of the little towns, they had a bank or a hotel that had Wi-Fi, and all these people were there trying to get a message out to family and friends because they've got no communication. But then you've got a lot of people that are still trapped in their homes. Yeah,
and like bridges in and out of towns that are gone, so emergency vehicles can't even get there.
You know what? Yes, and the whole road's gone.
Yeah. Yep.
Incredible. And speaking of bridges, there was a story. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. There's a story, and it's just a little ways away from Asheville, kind of southwest of there, and it's called Lure Lake, Lure.
Okay.
And Lure Lake is where there is a famous rainbow bridge where people would go and attach the collar of their pet that passed away.
Oh, that's sweet.
A beautiful picture, and the bridge is gone.
Oh.
and it took everything away. And somebody posted a picture of it. I didn't know that it was there, and they have a picture, and it's kind of like, when we talked about that bridge with all the locks, right?
Yeah.
Or the thing with all the locks, right? It's matte, and like it's not this huge bridge. It's a 15-foot span maybe of a bridge, but it's a wooden bridge, and it was covered. You couldn't see the railings because they were covered with pets collars.
Oh, that's sad.
And the names of the pets and different memorials that people had left.
That's sad.
That's sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Super sad. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring a sad note, but I had seen that story and it just struck me because I didn't even know that was there. And it was
I'd never heard of that.
Yeah, there was a big TikTok thing about it too. Rainbow Bridge at Lake Lure, Lure. If you get a chance to look it up, it's pretty cool, pretty special.
Very cool.
What else happened this weekend then?
Yesterday we decided last minute to run up to whatever Target and Home Depot up at where it's an absolute shit show, getting in and out on 132nd and L. That it's ridiculous.
That is when honestly I know we aren't the first people either. It is the poorest design.
It is. It's such a cluster. F. It is.
Yes.
It's so bad.
It is like
so bad.
Somebody apparently stomped their feet and it was like, no, everybody has to come in from here.
Yes.
And then everybody has to go out from there. Period. That's it. We're not going to make any more entrances.
And we're not going to paint the little median thingies that stick out so you can see them. We're going to make them the same color as the street.
That sounds a little personal. Something happened?
Nothing yesterday. That has happened before. But yesterday we got out of the car and I'm walking by got out of the passenger side and I'm walking. I'm like, oh man, this person, I can hear air coming out of their tire. It's like, psst. I'm like, oh, that's not good. I got down by their tire. I'm like, it's coming from our Jeep. Hold on. So I look, and it was our back tire. You could even see like the slit in the top. We ran over something. Nothing was in there, but and it was psst. And this happened to us 6 months ago when we were going on the interstate and we lost air and we tried to go into that. It was right off the exit to that Walmart going towards Lincoln, like the Gretna exit. And there's a quick QT or come and go right there. And it's a fairly new one. And we got in there just in time, pulled up by the air pump and it was out of order, of course. So it went flat and we had to change the tire or whatever. But so yesterday we're like, okay, it's down to only 30. It's down to 30 PSI. The rest are 36. We can make it home. So we started going really slow. And if we stopped, the air would go down. But if we kept going, it was fine. So we had to time it. I think we ran 2 red lights just to get home. Made it home.
Emergency.
Yeah, right. Made it home. And when I went to change the tire, our jack, same jack we used last year to do it, got the tire off. Jack was up and all of a sudden, it felt the little screw in the middle bent on the jack and gave way. And the car, I was in the middle of putting the tire back on. So it didn't fall and hit the rotor or anything. It hit and braced itself on the tire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not good. And so you can't even, the jack, you can't move it anymore. Can't go up or down because that screw's bent. So I just went to my neighbor who has all the awesome old guy tools and got one of those jacks. That's
a real jack.
As soon as I got done, it took me maybe 20 minutes to get the tire off and then jacked up with the whatever the jack that comes with it.
Toy jack,
basically. And this one, twist, 5 pumps, and it's up. And I'm like, so we already priced them out. We're gonna get one, and we'll never ever have another flat tire again. But still, when we do,
one time and the purchase is worth it.
Yes.
And the purchase is worth it if Karma says, okay, now that you bought that, we're not going to do it again. That's okay.
Still worth it.
That's fine too.
Yes.
But no, I agree with you 100%. Those jacks are useless.
Mm-hmm.
And they're hazard. They really are.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be in emergencies only, but if that wasn't an emergency, but still, what other option do I have? I don't want to call a tow truck.
And most people don't have a jack.
Right. No, I don't know anything about vehicles. I would never have a reason to lift my car off the ground. Never. Other than this for tires.
If only there'd been a Jensen tire between where it happened and home.
We called. There was a Tires Plus, and the guy's like, "Can't get you until Monday." Like, okay, that's not helpful.
Well, I'm in the front parking lot with a flat tire. So you tell me what to do.
So can I stay at your house then tonight? Yeah.
And I made it this far.
Well, we wanted to go to Discount Tire anyway because they patch them for free.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As an adult man, I could not call another adult man to change my tire for me in my driveway.
I will I do. What was it that happened? We were on the interstate.
That
I was following you.
Was that a flat tire? I think it might have
I
been a flat tire.
But it was at like 2 a.m.
You weren't even following me home. I called you to come back. Remember? Because I'm on 24th and Martha on the interstate, flat tire, 3 a.m. And we had just got done with an event, like Q Cruise, I think.
It was down at so it was something, and I tried because at the time it wasn't AAA, because AAA disowned me a long time ago. Whatever it was that came with my
OnStar,
truck,
right?
It was an OnStar, because they'd call emergency and they get somebody, but they typically don't call for if it's not your truck that they're calling for. And on top of it, I think it was like, well, mine's a Chevy. They're not going to call somebody because they're Chevy people. They weren't going to call for a Ford or whatever it was. I can't remember what you were driving. I have no idea what it was you were driving. But anyway, but then I think they did call somebody though, because somebody came, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, and somebody came because it's like it's 3 a.m. You can't leave us here.
Yeah,
and we can't leave his car because it won't be here when we come back. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That's the only exception.
Yeah, right. The only exception.
That's it. Okay, very good. SpaceX story this weekend.
I told that story really, really long. My bad. I have a meeting that starts like in a minute ago.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I should not have. I told the story way too long.
That's all right. All right, good enough. I guess
My
we gotta
bad.
go.
Okay.
Man, send your hate mail to Pat. Pat and JT. I mean, that's not really a thing. But anyway,
no, just send it to JT at Hurrdat.com.
Or just drop it in the comments.
Whatever. Yeah.
Oh God, Alexa's yelling at me right now too. I gotta go. Okay.
Okay. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. Have a good one.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.